All right, guys and gals, we got the last week of the legendary side quest. We're going to go ahead, claim our disc, jump into the quest. Now, I did pre-record this, but I'm going to go over it just like I did when I was planning this out. We do want to finish off the bosses with female champions. We got a path with destructive defense, so that's going to be, we want to deal with the disorients. And then we got this heavy assault, limber, ebb and flow knockdown, Penny Parker. And then we got destructive feedback on this node here, and what is on Quake. We got destructive feedback again, foresight. All right, so my plan here is to go with Kingpin for the path. I'm looking at Captain Marvel movie with the White Mags pre-fight. Here, even though I don't have a 5 or a 6-star White Mags, I am going to bring in the 4-star because it's just the legendary side quest. There's no restriction on star levels. So I'm going to go ahead, and my thought process was I could go... I needed a backup champion like for the boss. I wanted APOC. He could deal with the disorient, and I figured Kingpin could could work with the disorient. And then I think I figured instead of Cable, let's get a backup female champion just in case. And I think we're just going to throw Angela on to help us with the boss if we need some backup with the boss. So that was the thought process here. Now we're going to jump in. We're going to go down, and we're going to do the first of the last two paths. First up is Spider-Man 2099, and I decide to go in with Kingpin. So he's just going to be able, even without the hood synergy, he can go ahead here and just go ahead and I can just not worry about really the node too much at all. Spider-Man 2099, pretty easy to deal with his special one, and that's my plan here. Go in, bait special ones, attack back in every single time. Not much of an issue. And it worked out just, pretty smooth fight here. Again, I think a ramped up Apocalypse would have been great for these fights as well, because he can go disorient immune, but, shrugging them off worked just as well. So another special one. Another few more hits and he's done. Okay, next up. Now it's just the same thing for the next two fights. For Black Widow Clairvoyant as well. So I'm just going to let the music play for these two fights, and I'll meet you back for the boss. All right, now we're up to the Penny Parker. I guess this is a mini boss, But we're going to go into Captain Marvel movie, but we're going to put the White Max pre-fight on so we don't have to worry about the limber. And we're just going to try and... I think at the beginning I can throw a bunch of parry heavies at the start, and then eventually I will start hitting into her block to get rid of the sync shield, and then continue with the parry heavies, and it's going to work out really, really nicely. The first one is going to take away the ebb and flow knockdown protection. I'll get the ebb and flow knockdown fury. Again, look at that big 30k heavy attack there. Now I'll do this a couple more times there. Nice 12k heavy attack. And I'm just going to continue to do this until once she throws the special one, then I'm going to go ahead now. Once she's going to be up there around 9-10 charges, I don't want to deal with it anymore, so I'm going to go ahead, back off. You can't punish her heavy attack here. Got to be careful about that. Just back off, hit into the block. Go ahead, remove the sync shield. Going to take a few more hits to take it down. We're down to 35, 30. Again, even though I can parry there, I don't want to take the power burn. So again, a few more hits into the block. Let Penny turtle up. All right, now we can go ahead, parry heavy, get rid of the ebb and flow knockdown. A nice 34k crit there, and another one, and that's an easy boss. Now we just have the the Scarlet Witch Sigil to take care of that one. I don't have a flawless fight in this one, but we'll let the music play out for that boss fight, and then we will continue on to the second path. All right, as you can see, I decided to go with throw Elsa Bloodstone on the team and Black Widow Clairvoyant on the team, just to give me some options to help with Quake, who's going to be a little bit annoying. You're going to have to really focus on some intercepts to really make that fight work well. Here, destructive feedback, we'll have a bunch of examples where I do it well, some where I fail, but the idea with destructive feedback, you can always get the initial parry off because you haven't done any damage yet. Then all the hits that you do into all the damage is going to be stored, and you do not want to get hit. If you get hit after you've put in a bunch of damage, it's all going to get reflected back onto you. As soon as that orange charge or yellow charge finishes up for destructive feedback, all the damage that you had built up gets applied to the opponents, in this case Loki. So when it's on cooldown, you can parry, you can attack in, all the damage is going to go against the defender. But here, once it's back on, all my attacks here, I'm putting in damage. If I get touched at all the damage is going to get pushed back onto me, and that's not going to be great. So the first fight, that's a perfect example of how to do it correctly. I believe in one of these fights, I definitely mess up and I take some, if I get clipped here, I decide to go with Apocalypse. Again, the first parry, not a problem because I haven't done any damage yet, so there's nothing to reflect back onto me. And now, any damage that I've done, let's say into Elektra's block here, there, when the timer goes, now all the damage applies to her. And now while it's on cooldown, I can parry heavy, I can do whatever I want, attack back in, and all the damage I'm going to do here is not, I don't have to worry about it getting reflected onto me, wait for the yellow icon to come back, or orange now that it's back. All the hits that I'm doing, if I get clipped, that damage is going to get reflected back onto me. So I like to hit into the block, bait specials, and then attack in afterwards. So you can see there, huge chunk of damage right back onto Elektra. Now it's on cooldown, I can parry, not a problem, and I can go ahead and keep attacking in. One more special one, and it's done. I think we'll see in the next one, I believe I go in with Kingpin here, and I am going to get clipped, and you'll see I take a huge chunk of damage. I think we still finish it off, but you can see what happens that if you're not careful, you can have all your damage reflected back onto you. So let's go here. We're going to hit into the block. Again, it's got a heavy hitter, so I cannot. There, you see I parried by mistake, and I got a little bit of damage reflected back onto me. Now she's on cooldown. I can go and parry, hit back in, get a bunch of damage, but then I got to be really careful, again, when we get back up to the orange circle, when the destructive feedback resets. Now it does. I've put some nice damage there, but then watch what happens. I'm going to go ahead, throw a nice big combo. Then she's going to come at me. I accidentally parry, and look, I'm down to like 2%. So you can see all the damage that I had done that was stored up, reflected right back onto me, and that's how those fights can end very quickly if you're not careful. All right, next up is the Quake boss. Now, this one here is a little tricky. There's heavy hitter, immunity to debuff, so it's going to be stun immune. It's destructive feedback. So you really want to get an intercept. I thought that Elsa Bloodstone was neat because I could go ahead and get my opening just like that with her quick counter attack. But I screwed this one up. I got clipped a little bit by Quake's aftershock charges. There again, I get another opening, but right there, I get clipped by the special one. And now, even though there's a bunch of damage that I can get in, as soon I get taken out by the aftershock charges. There, I take 2 more of them. She evades, and I'm done. So that kind of stunk. And then I'm gonna go in with Claire because, or do I go in with Captain Marvel? I'm going to Captain Marvel. I need someone, again, I got to finish with a female champion in order to get the milestone objective. So here, my goal is more trying to figure out, okay, I don't really want to hit into the block. I really just want to intercept. So that's what I went with. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and intercept as best I can and see what I can do. So there we get off the special one. Right now, the destructive feedback node is down. I do get a little bit of aftershock damage there. And again, I just kind of have to go. I can't intercept her heavy attack. So really the best way to do it is to actually try and go for the intercepts or bait special ones if you can. So it can definitely be a tricky fight, this Quake, because you can't stun her. I really thought Elsa was going to be a really good fight if I hadn't screwed that one up where you can get your automatic, in. But we managed to get this one down with Captain Marvel movie. And then we actually have a nice little fight there where I tried to take down Sigil Witch with a 2% health left on my Kingpin, and I almost did it, so that was pretty cool. So I'm going to let the music play out. That is the 2 paths for week 4 of the Legendary Side Quest. I hope that this helps, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.